All right, ready for another deep dive? Today, we're going to dig into something truly electrifying. Battery tech.
Ooh, exciting.
Yeah, and, we always go for the really interesting stuff. Today, we're looking at Electrovaya.
Okay, I've heard the name, haven't really looked into them. What's the deal?
So they're making some really bold claims about their battery tech. Longer lasting, safer, greener, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, well, everyone says that these days, but what makes Electrovaya different?
Well, we've got a whole stack of their presentations and data sheets right here, ready to be dissected.
Excellent. Let's see what we've got.
Okay, so right off the bat, they're saying multi-million-mile batteries. I mean, seriously.
Well, that's certainly an attention-grabbing claim. Gotta give them that. But, what does that even mean in real-world terms?
Exactly. Are we talking like spaceships, time travel?
Well, not quite, but I see what you mean. To really grasp the weight of that claim, we need to look at where the battery industry is right now. And frankly, it's
And a little volatile.
that's one way to put it. Lithium-ion batteries, they're everywhere, right? Phones, laptops, cars.
Pretty much anything that needs a rechargeable battery.
Right. But they have some, shall we say, explosive flaws.
We've all seen those headlines about those battery fires.
Exactly. And it's not just a PR nightmare, it's a real safety concern. And even when they're not catching fire, lithium-ion batteries, they degrade over time. You've probably noticed your own phone's battery life getting shorter.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's like after a year or two, it's basically glued to the charger.
Right. And that degradation, it's not just annoying, it's a massive environmental problem. All those dead batteries, they end up as e-waste.
Which is something we really don't need more of.
Exactly. Now imagine a battery that lasts 4 times longer. Think of the impact.
Okay, so less e-waste, that's huge.
Sure.
But how does Electrovaya actually plan to achieve that? Their big thing seems to be this ceramic separator technology.
Yeah, they really highlight that in their presentation, even included a nail penetration test.
Always a good sign when they're willing to put their tech through that.
Right, so the separator, it's kind of like the unsung hero inside a battery. It's this thin layer that sits between the positive and negative electrodes.
Keeping them from getting too friendly.
Precisely.
So it's all about keeping those electrodes apart, like a really tiny fence.
Exactly. And the material of that fence, that separator, is crucial.
Okay, so why ceramic? What makes it so special?
Well, traditional separators, they're usually made of plastic or polymers.
Right.
And they work fine under normal conditions, but they're vulnerable, especially to heat.
Heat, huh?
Yeah. You think about it, leave your phone in a hot car, suddenly that battery is baking in there. Those temperatures can cause those materials to degrade, even melt.
Not good.
Not good at all. Increases the risk of a short circuit, and, well, you know what happens then.
Yeah, fire hazard. So ceramics, they're like immune to heat.
Pretty much, they're known for their incredible heat resistance. Remember that nail penetration test we saw?
Oh yeah, that was impressive.
Right. Electrovaya's ceramic separator, totally fine. The competitors, melted mess. Night and day.
Okay, yeah, that's a visual I won't forget.
Uh-huh.
But Electrovaya, they're not just about safety, are they? They were talking about how long these batteries can last, too.
Absolutely. Longevity is a huge part of their pitch. They're claiming 4 times the lifespan of a typical battery.
4 times? Come on, is that even possible?
Well, their data does suggest a significant improvement in something called cycle life.
Cycle life. Sounds
Yeah.
like a spin class for batteries.
A light chuckle. Kind of. It refers to how many times a battery can be charged and discharged before it starts to lose its capacity.
Right. Because who wants a battery that dies after a few months?
Exactly. Longer cycle life equals fewer battery replacements, which is good for your wallet and the environment.
Okay, so less e-waste, lower costs. I'm liking this. But how do they actually do it? What's the secret sauce?
Well, one of the main culprits behind battery degradation is something called lithium dendrites. These tiny, spiky structures can form inside a battery over time.
Dendrites. Sounds like a dinosaur or something.
A bit, right? Imagine them like tiny thorns growing inside the battery, eventually piercing the separator. And that causes a short circuit.
Ouch. So it's a slow and painful death for the battery.
Exactly. And that's where Electrovaya's ceramic separators come in. They act as a much tougher barrier, preventing those dendrites from doing their damage.
So they're like dendrite-proof vests for the battery.
A light chuckle. That's a good way to put it. They protect the battery, extending its life significantly.
Okay, so we've got safety, longevity,
Mm-hmm.
but all this tech is useless if nobody's actually using it, right?
Yes.
So where are Electrovaya's batteries actually being used?
Well, they've already made a pretty big splash in the heavy-duty vehicle market, specifically electric forklifts.
Forklifts, really.
Yeah.
Not exactly the sexiest application.
A light chuckle. Maybe not, but it's a huge market. And they've landed some big clients. Walmart, for example.
Walmart, the retail giant. Wow, okay, so how big of a deal is this Walmart partnership?
Huge. Walmart's been making a big push for sustainability, and electrifying their logistics is a big part of that. They've rolled out thousands of electric forklifts across their warehouses, and a lot of them are using Electrovaya's batteries.
So they're putting their money where their mouth is. That says something.
Mm.
And it's not just Walmart, right? Electrovaya claims they've shipped over 28,000 batteries so far with a perfect safety record.
Yeah, that's a pretty strong testament to their technology. They've really focused on reliability and safety, which are paramount in those heavy-duty applications.
Makes sense. You don't want a forklift battery catching fire in the middle of a warehouse. So they've conquered the world of forklifts. What's next for them? Are they coming for Tesla's lunch? Electric cars? So are they gunning for Elon, taking on Tesla in the EV market?
Well, they are working on solid-state batteries for EVs, actually.
No way, really?
Yeah, but their focus right now seems to be more, how to put it, strategic.
Strategic.
Yeah, instead of diving headfirst into the whole consumer EV market, which is already kind of crowded, they're really doubling down on these heavy-duty applications.
Okay, so like what? Mining trucks?
Yeah.
Construction equipment?
Exactly. Think tough, rugged machines working in tough conditions. Reliability and safety are paramount there.
Yeah, definitely. Can't have a battery dying on you in the middle of a job site.
Right. And frankly, that plays to Electrovaya's strengths. Plus, by focusing on these niche markets, they can build a really strong foundation before going after the mass market.
Kind of like establish a beachhead before the main invasion.
Exactly. It's a smart strategy, honestly.
Okay, but are they actually gaining any traction in these new sectors?
The numbers say yes, actually. Their revenue has more than doubled in the past year.
Wow, doubled. That's huge.
Right. And they've got a massive order backlog, too. Billions of dollars worth of batteries.
Billions.
Yeah.
Okay, they're definitely doing something right. But how can they even keep up with that kind of demand?
Well, that's where the new Gigafactory comes in.
Gigafactory, like those massive Tesla factories?
The very same. They're building one in Jamestown, New York.
Wow, that's a huge undertaking.
It is, no doubt. But it shows their commitment and their confidence in their technology.
Makes sense. Okay, so we've talked about their current success, their expansion plans, but what about the really futuristic stuff? They've mentioned solid-state batteries.
Ah, yes. The holy grail of battery tech. Potentially a game changer.
Okay, so what are they exactly? Like magic batteries?
Almost. They use a solid electrolyte instead of liquid one.
So no more flammable liquids.
Exactly. Much safer, potentially higher energy density, faster charging.
Wow. Okay. So are Electrovaya leading the pack in this solid-state race?
They're definitely in the running. They haven't revealed too much, but they are developing prototypes aiming for commercialization soon.
Okay, so potentially big things on the horizon. It really seems like Electrovaya is firing on all cylinders. Proven track record, big plans, and committed to a greener future.
They've certainly made a compelling case for themselves. It's going to be fascinating to see how it all plays out.
Well said. And that's it for today's deep dive into the world of Electrovaya. They're a company with big ambitions and the technology to back it up. Will they become the next Tesla? Only time will tell. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time for another deep dive.